Well, this is a figure I've been wanting for a very, very long time that I was never sure if I was going to add to my collection. This is Rollbar from Age of Extinction, or from Takara Tomy, the Movie Advanced Lost Age line. This was a Toys R Us exclusive in Japan, and yeah, this was released in America actually in a Breakout Battle 3-pack that was not really released in America. It was super hard to get, never had the chance to get it. But this figure, I finally got my hands on. I'm very excited to do a review on this. But before I do talk about this figure, I need to take a moment to talk about the place I got this from. Now, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to say the name of the small little store I got this from. But it's a store that I went to years and years ago. And they closed for COVID. They reopened a little bit more recently. And I hadn't been since they had reopened. I went, and they still had tons of stuff that was exactly the same from 10 years ago. I remember looking at this figure a good 10 years ago. If you don't believe me, here's the dust on top. Do you see that on my finger? There's the dust. This has been sitting there for 10 years. And it had a $40 price tag on it, which I thought was perfectly fair for a, 10-year-old Takara Deluxe. And I brought it up to the register, and I do have to say the cashier, very sweet, very nice lady, very sweet. I don't believe she is the owner, but she informed me that some of the items may be more expensive. And I was very taken aback by that, and I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, we have to cross-check our website and, see if the price has gone up. And I was thinking, well, it has $40 right there. It's $40 right there. It should be $40. I believe that is the law. You have to honor the advertised price. But obviously, places also have the right to refuse a sale. So I was in a predicament on if I really wanted this thing or not. There was something else I wanted that was $25. And she told me it had gone up to $45. And I was like, are you serious? No. Something that was $8 went up to $20. And I'm like, what? Like, these items were a time capsule from the store. Like, over 10 years, it's been sitting there. And they raised the price while it's still just been sitting there. I have no idea how they make money that way. But this was originally $40, and she told me it went up to $50. And I had to think, is this something I really want? Is it still a good deal? I looked it up on eBay sold listings. Yes, it was still a very good deal. This is actually about $100 figure in the box. So, and it's what I've really been wanting for quite some time. So I made the decision to purchase it with this increased price. And the reason why I feel like I have to make this and put this in the video is because I strongly disagree with the business practice of raising the price at the register. I strongly disagree with that. I, still enjoyed supporting such a small store. And again, I don't want to name names, but that is something I cannot ignore making this video. I cannot just glance past the fact that this had a $40 price tag, but I had to pay $50. I cannot glance over that. It's honestly dishonest to the customer. I'm pretty sure illegal. It's something I very strongly disagree with. I remember seeing a video, I believe, from the Major Wrestling Figure podcast where, some toy shop guy was bragging about raising the price on a Naboo Starfighter on somebody at the register because it had just shown up in The Mandalorian. The dude literally did that, and that was disgusting to me. And given how it essentially happened to me, I had to mention it. And again, no hate to the cashier. Very sweet. It must be something with the ownership. I don't know the details, but I very much disagreed with that business practice. But I do have a Takara Movie Advanced Rollbar in my collection now. So let's go ahead and open it. It's been hanging on the pegs for so long, the glue has come undone, and they literally just taped it, which is kind of funny. I'm going to open it anyway. I'm an opener. I'm not, in need of this in the box. I'm in need of this in my life. So this is actually a retool, not really retool, I think it's a straight up repaint of Generation Skids, which is a figure that I didn't really enjoy as Skids too much. It was very based on IDW Skids, and I just wasn't vibing too much. I still have it as crosscut, but I've really been wanting this roll bar because the fact that this is technically a figure that still appeared in the movie, is actually kind of interesting. Now, some of you may be thinking, J4, what do you mean this appeared in the movie? Remember that really creepy guy that had the Romeo and Juliet law thing in his wallet? This was essentially his little, like, stock car that he came to save Cade and his daughter in. It obviously was not a Transformer character in the movie, which is hilarious that Michael Bay, as always, has to have these really cool cars that literally don't even transform. Like, that's how he did things. But one thing that the Michael Bay toy line always did is that they made it so it was the car from the movie that was actually a Transformers character. They did all the time with the first movie. There's so many of those toys that are non-transforming vehicles that actually transform. One I really want is ROTF Stratosphere. I want that one so bad. But this is also one that I really, really wanted because it's been over 10 years, dude. Like I said, this toy was hanging there for 10 years. I have a very big soft spot for Age of Extinction. Not the greatest movie, fully acknowledge that. But this toy is just so nice to finally have, even though I had to spend quite a bit for it. I still got a good deal. Don't worry. I still got a pretty good deal on this. It's very rare you'll ever catch me spend like $50 on a deluxe. But this is one I really wanted, dude. It's one I really wanted. This car looks fantastic. I'm not sure how different it is from the Breakout Battle 3-pack version. Because, like I said, I never got the chance to get that. That one had an Evasion Mode Optimus, had a more accurate deco. Still waiting for a Studio Series Evasion Mode Optimus. I don't know if we'll ever get that. But they also had like a weird repaint of Crankcase as one of the... I think it was supposed to be one of the... Geez, what were they called? Operation Wind? Cemetery Wind, that's what it was. Cemetery Wind. It was supposed to be like a Cemetery Wind vehicle. But yeah, this rally car looks really nice. It does have some inconsistency with the blue paint, but given how much blue paint there is, it's actually funny how it's like dark, light, light, dark, light, dark. Very interesting. But yeah, you can see there's Dinotron, Racing Fuel, little Autobot logo right there. Right there says Cybertronian Radial. I almost said Radical. That is not what it says. It would be cool if it said Radical, though. But yeah, you know, being a repaint of Thrilling 30 Skids, it does also come with all of the weapons that Skids comes with, because Skids is armed to the teeth, and so is this figure, actually, which is very funny. One thing I did want to point out is the bio on the back. I didn't read that yet. It says, Rollbar is perfectly satisfied taking orders. He rejects even thinking about being a leader, yet he still is both intelligent and a skilled fighter, characteristics that make him a trusted soldier. Isn't he so cool? Okay, let's transform him. It's been a while since I've transformed this mold, but I'm pretty sure I remember how it goes. I'm pretty sure. I know these windows kind of pop up. Please don't break. Please don't break. I spent $50 on you. Oh, phew, there we go. Yeah, these are his, like, door wings up here. I know his feet kind of fold up, and his arms are right here. I was actually worried this guy would be yellowed, because he's literally, like I said, been on the shelf for so long. They had some stuff in the display cases that were yellowed and everything. Literally, it was like a time capsule. It's a time capsule. I had not been there in, I did the math, 7 years. I've not been there in 7 years. And, yeah, pretty surprising how a lot of stuff was new, but a lot of stuff stayed the same. All right, so I think next up, isn't it something with the window? Yeah, this has to move a little bit. The series of hinges and everything. Oh yeah, this window too. This one goes down, doesn't it? Yeah, this one goes like down over. Oh, so much clear plastic. I've actually had some pretty good luck with clear plastic. Yeah, I've not had a lot of clear plastic figures break on me. Knock on wood, I'm a very lucky guy. All right, head reveal, head reveal. Come on, head. Well, there's the head right there. Looks really cool. It's still the Skid's head, but they painted it like white and blue, and I'm a very big fan of that. Ooh, there we go. All right. Ooh, it's coming undone. Oh no, like the Korn song. Doesn't this go in all the way? Every time I try pushing it, it like pops out. Okay, there we go. We got it. We got it. All right, he's got his big old shoulder cannons. Get his chest into place. I still think this is a really nice mold. Like, I didn't even get the new crosscut because I actually just liked this as crosscut enough. But now that I have it in this mold, I think this is definitely my favorite iteration. I mean, look at this guy. This is sick. This is really cool. It's funny how it's supposed to be like a Bayformer figure, but it's very clearly not in the Bayverse style. Very, very clearly not. Let me go ahead and fold these down, give them some extra shoulder firepower. Why not? Add some red into the color scheme as well. That's very cool. Get the shoulder cannons. I suppose you could like rearrange these wings if you want. Like you could have them folded in like this. I actually kind of like the look of that. It's more subtle. It's a more subtle look to the wings. But also, I am a big fan of just nice big car door wings. He has these arm cannons that can fold out. Like, this Skids was armed to the teeth, dude. You thought I was kidding? The IDW Skids was very well armed. And Hasbro back in the day did a very good job of replicating that. Checking out Rollbar in robot mode here, he is looking very, very cool. I very much enjoy the reuse of the Skids head here. I actually think it works really great for this character. I wonder how the crosscut head would have looked, but I'm actually not sure if that head existed when they did this repaint. I think it did. I think it did. But yeah, he is looking very, very cool. I like him all armed up like this. He looks really nice. You can actually put a lot of these weapons away. Obviously, the arm cannons you can fold up. You can actually take the guns and just make them into one longer rifle if you are so inclined, if you just want them with one long gun. These shoulder cannons, obviously, I already showed. Those can be folded back up. And then even the shoulder cannons, you can actually, you know, tuck back here. And then the back kibble will hold them into place. So if you want him not armed up and actually smoother looking, I think he actually looks really good like that too. I might keep him like that at least for a little bit here. But yeah, it's a very nice mold and a very obscure repaint of a very nice mold. I know it's not perfect. Like his shoulders are pretty hindered because they're just on ball joints. So you're not going to get like a lot of upward range. But dude, I've got such a soft spot for like the Thrilling 30 era of engineering and everything. Because it's very close to when I started. I really started getting into Transformers around like 2012. So 2013 was just the next year. And there were so many great molds and great releases that came out right after that. Then the year after that, Age of Extinction. Hence why I feel like I have such a big soft spot for it. It was the first movie that came out where I was really hyped over it. And I really wanted this toy, dude. I really did back in the day. Especially since it was, like, appearing in the movie, but it was a character that, like, they made from a car that... I've already explained it. It was my first experience with a figure and a character like that. I know they did a one-step changer or something like that. I wasn't interested. I needed this one. And the Breakout Battle evaded me. This one evaded me. But now, I finally have it in my collection. It's a really cool repaint, dude. Unfortunately, I don't even have Skids anymore to compare him. But I'm happy to have this back. I'm very happy. And especially as Rollbar, as the character I've wanted it as for so many years. And it was worth paying that little extra. It was worth kind of going against a little bit of my morals on the matter to go ahead and still get it for still a good price, albeit a slightly less good price. I'm pretty happy with this. The head is on a ball joint. The shoulders are on a ball joint. The biceps are kind of on a little hinge-me-do, I'm pretty sure. But I think it's mostly for transformation, like they kind of hinge a little inward. You can see that pin right there. Has a ball joint at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. Swivel at the waist, ball joints at the hips. This is back when ball joints were still very commonly used for molds. Thigh swivel. He's got a knee bend, but he's kind of got a double knee bend if you want to incorporate the transformation hinge. And honestly, I think it looks good enough. I incorporate it. I see it as a double bend. I think it works very, very well. And his ankles are on ball joints. They've got a little bit of tilt. Unfortunately for transformation, they tilt far more the other way. And I guess he's got toes. Again, for transformation, but I guess he's got toes. So overall, what do I think about this guy? It's very satisfying. It's very satisfying to get one of those minor grails, I guess. You know, this isn't a holy grail, because it's not something I've grieved over for 10 years. But it's definitely something that I've wanted for 10 years. And I finally found it. I unfortunately did have that not so positive buying experience to get it. But I had to mention that because I feel like I always talk about how I get these toys. And I feel like that's a subject I haven't really talked about on the channel, is like raising the price at the register. Has that ever happened to you guys? Have you ever gone to a store and the price is more at the register, and they just expect you to be okay with it. It did actually happen to me at Walmart once, too. They had sale tags and everything out for, like, their Marvel Legends, and I wanted the Marvel Legends Spider-Gwen. And I ended up getting it later. Don't worry, I got it later. But they had the Spider-Gwen. This was the original Spider-Gwen, not like any of the newer ones. And they had a sale price for, like, 50% off. And I took it to the register, and it wasn't ringing. And they're like, oh, go to customer service. And I was like, hey, this has a sale sticker on the shelf for this much. And they're like, oh, we have to honor what's in the computer. And I'm like, but on the shelf it says it's this much. We have to honor what's in the computer. But actually, legally, I'm pretty sure you have to honor what's on the shelf. Because my days working retail, if there was ever a sale tag that was left out from a previous sale and it didn't ring up for that price, we had to honor it. We had to go in and change the price to the old sale price. Now we took the sale sign down. That person had a nice little deal there. I'm pretty sure that's the law. But anyways, had to ramble about that. This is a very nice toy. I hope you can get a hold of one if you ever want one. It's very elusive, very evasive, quite like Evasion Mode Optimus Prime, the character he was packed in the Breakout Battle 3-pack. It's a cool one. Definitely not an essential one. Definitely not essential, but definitely pretty cool. Definitely a fan. Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about this toy and of my shopping experience down in the description below. Well, the comments below the description. You know, you don't comment in that. Classic YouTube mistake. I called the comments the description. Oh no, I'm the worst. Okay, anyways. Special shout out to channel members as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.